What's up everyone? Today we have another video, not a review, but a list. The top 6 movies that we want to see remade.
Top 3 or top 6?
Top 6.
Oh,
3 for me, 3 for you.
3 plus 3 is 6.
3 plus 3 is 6.
There you go.
Do the math right here. Okay, so you want to start with your bottom 2?
Bottom 2, my number 3 movie. It's actually more than one movie. It's there's 5 of them. All the Transformers.
You want a complete revamp of all the Transformers.
All the Transformers. Now I like the first one, and the first one was good. I can tolerate the first one. Anything else, the second, third, fourth, and fifth are not good movies. Now, besides, I love robot fighting, and all and all that, and the action is good. But there's some storyline. Is there's ads.
Kind of got lost after the
first one. There's like Bud Light, Mountain Dew, advertisement in the movie, slow motion. I'm not a big fan of Michael Bay, not all of his movies, mainly the Transformers. His other movies are good, but I feel like Transformer can be better if the movie was focused on the Transformers, the robots, not so much on the human side. Luckily, there is going to be another movie coming out. It's a spin-off of a Bumblebee movie. It's directed by a guy who directed Kubo and the Two String, which is an awesome film.
Alright, I'll give that one a thumbs up.
My second one, it's a trilogy, and I know.
Not very happy with your franchises, are you?
This one is The Hobbits. I want all 3 Hobbits movies to be made, because compared to The Lord of the Rings, this was not that good of a movie because Lord of the Rings was so known to use practical effects, like real life people dressed up in makeup and makes it look real. I didn't like all the CGI stuff in the Hobbits. And if you guys read the book, it is not that long of a book. It's a very short book. Okay. And did
they milk it? I never saw it.
They milked this thing. I was very disappointed with that trilogy. I want them to remake it and put more effort into it. Like, I know Peter Jackson was asked to do the Hobbits, and I feel like he just kind of like he's just doing it for the money.
Take the same formula.
Yeah, I don't think he had any love in it like he did with Lord of the Rings, because Lord of the Rings is was one of the greatest trilogy of all time.
All right.
Okay, so
I never saw it, but I'll give you a thumbs up on that one too. My number 3 is a movie called Christine. Now, Christine was based off of a book by Stephen King about a demonic car, a 1964 Plymouth Fury, who is really attached to its owner, but is pretty much a killer car. It's alive. It doesn't talk or anything, but it's alive. The movie was in 1983, and I feel like the whole idea of it is really cool. Okay. And I would like to see that redone just better, because the movie obviously didn't age well. Nobody's heard of it. I wish I could tell you which car I would prefer. Maybe not a Plymouth Fury, but definitely something more modern.
So why did you want this to remake? Is it
I feel like now is the age of book to movies, but not only book to movie, but Stephen King book to movie. Dark Tower came out. It is coming out soon, so I'm excited for that. So that's what I would like to see.
I've never heard of that movie, but it's thumbs up.
Alright, cool. My number 2 is a movie called Sidekicks. Do you remember this movie? It was in 1992 with Jonathan Brandis. Rest his soul. And Chuck Norris. So I watched it last night just again. I really like this movie, but it's basically Karate Kid, just with Chuck Norris. But I like it. I like the theme of the flashbacks, the daydreams of him and Chuck Norris doing things together, him being a sidekick.
I remember watching that movie.
Again, I wish I could tell you what I had more ideas for this movie, like who would be in it.
Is it more you wanted to remake because there's the premise of the story?
I like the premise.
Okay.
And
thumbs up for that one, because I think it would be interesting to see it now. Someone else to take that script and make it more modern, I guess you can say.
Right. Cool. All right, your number 1.
My number 1 movie that should be remade is called Dragon Ball Evolution. Now, this movie came out in 2009. I cannot tell you who the heck is in this movie?
Can you hold this in front of your face? Thanks. Cool.
Because I don't know who's in this movie. The only one that's knowable is he was in Crouching Tiger.
I didn't even know they made a Dragon Ball movie.
Exactly. That's exactly why. This movie was horrible. Story was horrible. Action was horrible. The acting was horrible. And I feel like with the technology now that we have, we can make a real good Dragon Ball Z movie. I'm a big fan of Dragon Ball Z. I'm 35 and I still love it. There are short films on YouTube that are made by fan that looks incredible and it looks so much better. And if these fans, without the money and the technology that studios have, can make these cool short films, why can't big studio put in a little bit of money to make this movie? Trust me, if you make this movie, every 35-year-old that watches it will come out and watch it. But all the kids will be into this movie because it's something that is fun. There's a lot of action.
Right.
There's stories there. Now I know people say that.
Do you think it's set to fail because of anime remakes haven't been doing well in the past? Like Ghost in the Shell didn't do very well.
But I saw that movie and it wasn't that bad. There's a couple things that I thought it could have been better. It was too little slow for me. But I feel like with the tempo of Dragon Ball Z, the fan can get into it. Now I know if you watch all the cartoons, anime of Dragon Ball Z, they kind of drags out a lot of the stories. But if you can get a good director, someone who knows the world of Dragon Ball Z,
you have to find a director that's really passionate about the movie.
And you gotta find somebody who can play the iconic role of Goku. Now, this movie would be great if they was, especially like I say, with the technology of today, they can make this film a good film. Okay. So I feel like this movie, I'm still hoping that someone somewhere that will want to make this movie or remake this movie into something that's better. Because that thing was junk. It was horrible. I'm a Dragon Ball Z fan. I almost walked out of the theater. It was horrible.
All right.
What's your number one?
Alright, I'll give you a thumbs. I don't know. Sure, why not? To each his own, right? I don't even know why we're giving thumbs up on these. Okay, so my number one is a movie, one of my all-time favorite movies. I don't know if this is cheating, but The Iron Giant.
The Iron Giant? It's a good movie.
The Iron Giant is a great movie. Don't get me wrong. I love this movie.
Guess who voiced the giant?
That was Vin Diesel, right?
Vin Diesel.
I am Groot. I am Superman. Anyway, I don't want to see a remake of the animated version. I want to see a live-action movie with that thing. Hogarth Hughes finds a robot that came from space, and he keeps it as his own. Well, he's the luckiest guy in America.
There is a movie coming out called Ready Player One that's directed by Steven Spielberg that has the Iron Giant in it as live action.
Ah, okay.
So you might get a glimpse of, that could work, and maybe
like an idea of that. But I did hear about that. But I would love to see that because the movie's great. It's got heart, but I want to see that in live action.
Thumbs down for me.
Thumbs down!
Because I feel like they don't need to touch that. Because I feel like that's good itself.
Fair enough.
But if you want to make live action, I can see studio going for it because everything now is going to turn into live action.
Right. All right. So what do you guys think? What is a movie that you want to see remade or redone or made into a live action film? Let us know in the comments. Like and subscribe.
Movie Nerds Alert.
Movie Nerds Alert. And we will see you next time.